On Friday, 23rd April 2021, the defense minister stated clearly that our nation is bleeding, and this was publicized in almost all of the dailies for that day. Looking at all the happenings in our nation, one is forced to ask if truly Nigeria is bleeding, according to the defense minister. In other news, cases of kidnap and killings have been going on over some time. Currently, bandits attack Kaduna Hospital and kidnap 2 nurses. The police headquarters in Delta State was caught by fire. Police officers have been killed and stations razed down by unknown gunmen. Killings of adopted students in Kaduna. Good day and welcome to today's edition of Christians in Politics, reaching you from the Advent Cable Network Nigeria Television. I am Smart Simon, and we shall be looking at the topic Bleeding Nigeria. And with me in the studio to discuss this topic are the Venerable Joseph UNUAYAN JP, Director, Civic and Political Affairs, Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, and the Chaplain to the National Assembly. We also have with us Eric Ibe Esquire, the Secretary, Nigerian Bar Association, Abuja Branch, Unity Bar. You're welcome, sirs.
Thank you very much.
We want to start our discussion, and let me start with the learned gentleman in our midst. The topic before us, Bleeding Nigeria. What can you say about that topic?
Well, it's no longer news that Nigeria is bleeding. It's no longer news that Nigeria is no longer together. It's no longer news that there is a whole lot of killing, a whole lot of kidnap, a whole lot of, destruction of Nigeria. So we are just where we are. Indeed, it's no longer news. So you will agree with me that Nigeria is in serious need of prayers and help.
Okay. Yes, sir. Regarding the topic, Bleeding Nigeria. Is Nigeria bleeding?
That is even an understatement.
Okay.
I think it's euphemistic in some sense. For me, you say dying Nigeria, the country is almost giving up. It's dying.
So it's not just bleeding.
It's not just bleeding. Bleeding for me is an understatement. We have to call spade a spade. You see what is happening all over? Sit before your television for 10 minutes, you will know that we are now shadow of ourselves. So we'll just pray for the survival of this country.
All right. All right. Let me come to you. Am I right to say Ibe? Eric Ibe.
Very well.
Now, looking at the incessant killing of the police officers, the burning of police station, and even the recent assertion by the governor of Niger State that some of his local government have been taken away. That Boko Haram is seizing people's wives and marrying them up to themselves, and they are not far away from Abuja. 2 hours from where they are in Abuja. So he has cried that they are very, very close. Now, will you agree with those saying that police force should be revived and also change the leaders in various state levels?
Thank you very much. You see, our leaders are our problem. Over time, there has been this call for police, trying to see how we can decentralize the police system. Okay? People have suggested to the government, let us go back to what we call, community policing. Let one IG not sit in Abuja and give command to all the various states. Let each state, control its own police system so that Nigeria can move forward. But the federal government has, they've refused. So if we cannot, in this 21st century, begin to look at areas how we can make sure that our people are secured, areas that we can make sure that the police and the policing of Nigeria becomes our topmost priority, then we are just making mistake. I was listening to the governor of Niger State yesterday. He didn't say some state. He didn't say some. He said over 50 communities have been taken over by Boko Haram. He didn't say bandits. He was very clear as to what he was talking about. He said Boko Haram have taken over the entire place, over 50 communities. He went further to state that we should be very careful that Niger is very close to Abuja.
Yes.
Meaning that very soon Abuja will be invaded. So if they overrun Niger, where is the next point of call? It is the Federal Capital Territory.
Exactly.
And the government is there doing nothing. Okay? And, each time I listen to, Malam Garba Shehu, each time I listen to him speak, I saw a man who is lying.
He's just in his own world.
The man is just, he come up with all manner of lies, defending
what cannot be defended.
Yes, he's defending Mr. President, a man who do not know what to do. The people are dying. If before we leave this studio, you will hear a bad news.
Bad news
from all over the place. Somewhere in Kaduna, I mean in Okigwe, a police station was burned. Policemen killed. One civilian killed, just yesterday. So before we leave here, I can assure you that another bad news will hit the airwave.
All right, thank you so much. Now, let me come to you. I'm sure you want to say something on the issue of decentralizing police. But then let me add this, that it is no longer news that the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy has been blacklisted on the U.S. terror watch list. This means that allegedly the minister is among those sponsoring Boko Haram and bandits in the country. And the presidency have also come to state clearly that they are standing behind Dr. Isa Pantami. What can you say on these things that is happening?
I think it's a confirmation of the suspicion of many Nigerians over the years. It's not news to say that some of these people fighting us are in Aso Rock. Even during Goodluck Bello Jonathan's government, he was honest enough to come out to say these people have infiltrated his government.
That's correct.
That's how to know an honest man. Now, look at the baggage this minister is carrying and what people are unearthing every day. And you want to tell me a country that is ravaged by terrorism, by terrorists, to this extent, you leave somebody a day after all these allegations. No one says, step aside, let's do proper investigation. If I were to be Mr. President by now, that man should be with DSS. They should be interrogating him to know more about him and to know the extent to which he's aiding and abetting what is going on in the country. People are dying by the day, per second. Our brother was saying, before we leave this place, you will hear another bad news have hit the airway. And that is true. Every single day. When you sit before the television, you just weep for this very country. And to be keeping such a person and it's becoming a national debate, is everything, every single thing we talk and talk, Nigerians will cry and cry and cry and talk before something will be done. And by the time it is done, it's already too late. It's already too late. How can a person with such a mentality, somebody of that nature, be allowed to have access to the data of almost every single person in this very country?
270 million.
Yes. So we don't have better people to handle things. So it's only a confirmation that there's something that this government need to tell us. But for me, what is happening is not strange. Before 2015, I saw something coming upon this country. I was given opportunity to give an open lecture in the standing committee where all the bishops of the Church of Nigeria, the representative of that gathered in at Owerri. They asked me as the director for civic and political affairs, can you help us analyze the political terrain for now so that we know what to do before the election? I told them, I know that we don't belong to the same party. And if I want to talk the way I should talk plainly, some people will say, this our director for political affairs is becoming partisan. I said, I don't want to be partisan, but let's take the two main parties we have. All other ones are just there just for the show. We all know that. The two parties is PDP, APC for now, really. Let's put them on the table and analyze them. And I took on the executive of APC as our then, where every single person from the executive, from the chairman, vice chairman, PRO, whatever, treasurer, all of them were from one particular religion. I said, do you need a prophet to tell you that this party will bring doom upon this country? Where are we now? This thing, would it have been the way it is now if this government and APC as a party were ready to do the needful? Bandits were spreading, Fulanis were spreading all over the country. They were being directly or indirectly protected. If you say anything, the first attack or the first response will be from the presidency. Which other way are you going to tell the bandit that, oh, this environment is right for us to operate in? They have come. They have come. They were told to come. Oh, come from all over Africa. They have come. That is where we are now. No one is sleeping again. So it's really unfortunate that we find ourselves where we are now. It's sad. It's really sad. I don't know where we go from here.
All right. Thank you so much. Truly, I'm dumbfounded.
Talking about, you mentioned something about decentralizing the police. How long are we going to continue to talk about this? How do you call me the chief executive officer, security officer of my state, and I don't have control over anything really? You can't control the commissioner of police. You have seen some states where the governor and the commissioner of police don't see eye to eye. They are quarreling openly on the television. And the commissioner is telling governor, I take my order from Abuja. How do you handle things like this? And people have talked about the security of each state, how you manage it should be peculiar to that very terrain, to that very state, and all that. What is difficult for us to understand in this? We are talking about devolution of power. What is difficult? How many conferences have we put up in Nigeria? And is it that we are just waiting for this country to collapse before we do something? How many meetings are we going to have before government will take a decision?
All right. Now, let me come to you, sir. What should the government have done when they heard the report from the United States of America on one of the ministers as alleged sponsor of Boko Haram? What should be the right response to this?
Well, Mr. Presenter, your guess is as good as mine. It's very simple. Reverend Joe has said something. The government was supposed to have immediately first relieve him of his job, issue a statement, and then begin to probe into his past activities. The man has a history. There are audios. I listened to one 2 days ago. There are videos. This morning he has issued a statement. Dr. Issa Pantami issued a statement this morning that people are going to do photoshops about whatever he did in the past. Then the presidency yesterday said that they should look at Issa Pantami as the biblical the man who persecuted Christians. What's his name? Paul on his way to Damascus. Can you imagine?
And so he has repented.
That he has now repented. He has his name. He's now a new person.
And the state government.
How can you do that?
Sorry to call. The state government is aware that the so-called repented Boko Haram have turned back. We were here when a so-called repented Boko Haram shot a military commander on the head and killed him. And we are here when the governor of Borno State said the repented, so-called repented Boko, they are acting as if format and dealing with their own brethren. And you are defending pattern.
So these are the issues. I keep saying this, and I will say it again, that I suffer from a very heavy moral burden when old people tell lies.
Okay.
You know what I do? I practically run away from them. History will judge all of us. History will judge all of us. There's another man who works with Mr. President, Mr. whatever his name is. He's a spokesman of the...
Is he Additional?
Additional. Additional has disgraced himself. He's a disgrace to himself. He's a disgrace to a country called Nigeria. And I sympathize with all of them. Posterity will judge all of them one after the other. It won't be too long. Very soon, those who they protect will come after them. Then that will be the time they will know that it is no longer business as usual.
All right. Now let me come to you. A lot of persons have been arrested in connection with the sponsors of criminality in the country. Do you think the arrest should be the only action taken against them, or what other action should the government take against these sponsors?
I must be honest, I'm not aware of people arrested in respect of sponsorship of criminality. Yes, some criminals have been arrested, alleged criminals. Some of them are not even criminals. Including
BDCs, Bureau de Change.
Yes.
About 10 or how many of them?
Okay.
They said they are going to do secret trial for them.
Okay. Now.
More than 20. It's not just 10.
Okay.
So many of them.
Now, what do we do with these people? It should not end with arrest. Suggesting, if that is what you mean about the Bureau to Change people that were arrested, fine. Saying that they will be given secret, what the question that should come up? What are we trying to have? Why are we treating them in a special way? So I don't know what. Honestly, I don't understand this government anymore. I don't understand what they are doing. They have a style of going about their things. I'm not a member of APC. I'm not in government. So we are outsiders. I don't really understand how they are handling issue. Tell me, what is necessitating secret trial? In a country where every person is crying and mourning and people want to see justice done. Why secret trial?
All right, thank you so much. Now,
that secret trial suggests to me that there will be no justice at the end of the day. You know, you see the National Assembly, when the truth wants to come out, they will say, let's go into executive session. The cameramen will be asked to go. Then when they come, so we adjourn till next, they have settled the matter. Is that how we move forward in a country like this?
All right. Now, whenever they say that will be secret trial, does it mean, as a learned gentleman, that there will not be justice? That is first. Then secondly, is there really something this administration is doing well and getting it right? So that we won't only look at the aspect of them failing in security. Is there any other thing that you think is highly commendable and is good?
Thank you. Secret trial. Most times, when a government is involving in what they call secret trial, it means there are other informations, probably classified informations, that has to do with security, that has to do with so many other things, including naming of, well-meaning Nigerians.
Prominent people.
Very prominent people who are connected to what the issues are. So they would not want to, come out in the open to begin to discuss that it might jeopardize one or two things. So they will go into, into a secret trial and then begin to look at those things.
But does it matter whoever ox is gouged?
Well, it does not matter. A government who has, an open hand, who has a clear conscience, can go into a secret trial. Once you find out whatever you have found out, you can make it open. I don't know if you understand. It does not end there. It does not mean that when you go into secret trial, everything is covered. You can go into that place, begin to look at, digest things.
That is if they are honest enough.
Exactly. Then when you finish, then you can make open
your findings.
Your findings, so that the people will know exactly what has happened. Now, asking me if there is anything good the government has done or is doing that it should be commendable. Now, let me ask you, is there anything that you have seen? Is there anything that you have witnessed?
I'm here to do the asking.
No. The
lawyer is putting it to you.
I put it to you, sir. This morning, tell me if you have enjoyed 24 hours light, if you have enjoyed, good network, if you have enjoyed 3 square meal for those of them who cannot. A lot of things have gone bad. The security is the worst.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Thank you very much.
If there's one thing they have gotten right, is dividing this country into pieces. With the body language, with the policy, with the way they respond to issues.
So they've not even gotten it wrong. They didn't even get it right. It's still on the bad aspect of whatever they've done.
That is what it's like. I was speaking with somebody, he said the APC government know what they are doing. That is what they plan that they are doing.
I don't think they know what they are doing.
So it was rhetorical when the man was really speaking. He said yes. If you recall, we brought somebody came to this studio that maintained that very position. He said they know what they are doing. They have agenda. They know what they are doing. That was when we were talking about the way these Fulani people were spreading all over the country, all over our bushes, and even when they said there was a lockdown in the country, these people were moving in trailers.
Of course.
Moving to the east.
They got a lot of them.
Moving to the east, moving to the west. Now, after the lockdown, What is happening
That's
in
the
the east
aftermath
now?
of
Yes, what is
those
happening
movements.
in the east now? What is happening in the west? Is it not the aftermath of that movement?
All right. Viewers, we will go on a short break, and when we return, please do make yourself available by calling in to tell us the security situations in your areas. We want to know what is happening there. And if possible, tell us if Nigeria is bleeding.
We need assistance.
Oh my God! Bombs everywhere.
How can you say Christians should stay away from politics?
Leveling buildings, setting cars on fire, and shattering the glass in windows more than a mile away. Schools, homes, businesses were destroyed.
What is happening to this country?
The Bible says the government of this world will be upon his shoulder. Jesus must rule and reign. If we are going to have peace, if we are going to have equity, justice, Jesus must be enthroned.
The first church to evacuate the dead and wounded from the scene. Another loud explosion was also reported in the central Nigerian town of Jos. The attack was hit during Christmas Mass on the outskirts of the capital Abuja. A witness counted at least 19 dead there.
Christians must participate in politics. How do you tell me not to show interest about how my life will be wrong?
Your job is to represent another king in another kingdom.
lokacin da suka shiga ta farkon so yaran suna cin gidan Victor da ka zo ka ce an kusa maka so suna ciki kenan so da sun je bindigogi suna an fara harbe so daya su uku ne a dakin sai daya ya tashi ya hawo jabon ya je ya hade ta kasa ya bude jabon gate escape door ya fita ya kuma ya bi shi ya fita wannan kuma da ya tashi da jinjiri baccin zai na ne zai bi ya fito karfta su so suka kama shi su harbe shi ba sai sun suka yanka shi sun yanka shi suka diba nama ta
Boko Haram. Week, the Islamist extremists have been terrorizing villages in Gwoza. There are reports of hundreds dead.
That Christians got involved in politics.
Christians should go into politics. They should go and register, be members of political party, be card-carrying member of political party, seek for elective office, and don't forget, if you are going there, be determined to make a difference.
It is unfortunate today that far too many believers are expecting the solutions to our problems to land on Air Force One. And until the immune system of God, the church, is brought back up, the bacteria and viruses of destruction will continue to destabilize our country, ebb away our freedoms, and take away our liberty.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Viewers, you're welcome back. And we are still looking at the topic, the bleeding Nigeria. And we still have with us in the studio the Venerable Joseph UNUAYAN and Eric Ibe Esquire. And please, we want to still encourage our viewers, wherever you are, do call in and tell us the security situation in your area. And we continue with our discussion. Now, let me come to you, Venerable. Do you think linking of SIM cards with NIN has helped in identifying criminals in this country?
Since the project started, how many people have you had they were able to arrest because of the new project they are executing?
So what is the aim of making people go through
that is where Issa Patami's issue comes up. We are hearing rumors. These are not verified, but people are saying because they want most of all these criminals that evaded Nigeria to be able to register and get Nigeria, what is it called? Identification number. That is the brain behind what has been happening. Somebody was telling me last week that over 4 million people from Chad has already been registered in Nigeria. They now have our national identity number. So these are things that we need to. That is why I said, with the revelation about this man, government's supposed to step in down immediately, hand him over to DSS, and do thorough investigation to know the veracity of some of these claims and allegations. Because any person who can preach that somebody should be killed, should be murdered, who can support Osama bin Laden, can support all this ISIS, support Al-Qaeda, the person is capable of doing anything. Is capable of doing anything. So if we have been saying that these people have infiltrated the military and they are sabotaging the effort of the military, that is why before military people move, the enemy will attack them. Who tells you that a minister cannot sabotage a government? Well, especially when he's in charge of all the data and information that are classified, everything is within his control. So the something is just I don't know, my brother. We expect that something drastic.
Just hold on, we have a caller. Hello, please go ahead and make your submission. Hello? Hello, we can't hear you. Please, you can still call back. Maybe network challenge, part of the problem of Nigeria. All right, you were still talking before the caller interrupted.
Yes, I'm saying that. Have you heard, they said because of this new policy, that is why we have been able to arrest this person, arrest this, arrest that. So how has it helped? But in a place where there is sincerity, the policy could help. Yes, where there is sincerity. But the challenge before us now is that we don't even know who to trust again as a country. We don't know who is who as at now. That is why the government must put her feet down to investigate any single piece of allegation to the last point. If you investigate and come out, discover that there's no element of truth, then you can give the person a clean bill and the person moves on. So in the situation, in my area, they say if you want to eat pounded yam and there's only one knife at home and the knife is missing, you look for the knife everywhere. Check under the table, check under the bed, check the kitchen, check outside to know, so that you have the knife to cut the yam and prepare your pounded yam, except if you are not ready to eat. So Finding solution to the problem of Nigeria is not something they say, look at this, that they say, no need. No. Somebody that is pointing you to that very direction is seeing something. Is it not the same government that is telling us that if you see something, say something?
Mm-hmm.
So why are people saying something, no one is listening? If people are pointing to somebody that internationally has been recognized as a terrorist or supporter of terrorism, and people are talking about him, pointing finger, your government at the center is busy defending him, and Nigerians are not seeing tangible effort to dig into who exactly this man is, then tomorrow, if I see something, you expect me to say something.
All right, we have a caller online. Please tell us where you're calling from, your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, Venerable View, calling from Abuja.
All right, please go ahead and make your submission.
Yes, I was listening to your conversation, and the topic there talk about bleeding Nigeria. But for me, in my opinion, Nigeria is dying.
Okay.
We should have, you said the topic should be the dying Nigeria.
Okay.
Because we have moved past bleeding, and our bleeding state has gone so bad that we are the dying state. So we need the mercy of God. That is just the truth. Because we don't have a government. Nobody is saying anything. As we speak, we just heard that Boko Haram have taken over Niger State and Kaure local government, Ishiro local government.
Yeah.
Just 2 hours drive to Abuja. So what are we talking about? Everywhere, killings every day. Every day, people are dying and dying and dying. And now with our government, all they do is to pay lip service. Buhari will come on air and say, I will crush you, I will crush you, and we have capacity to be with you. Is that what we need at this time? Nigeria is dying, and we need the mercy of God. And I think all the church leaders will begin to speak up now. Those in the various media houses should speak up. The civil society organizations should speak up. Everybody should speak up now. The time to be afraid is over, because we are already dying. If we keep quiet like this, this nation will be engulfed in flames, except God show us mercy.
All right, thank you so much, Venerable Ovie Ezumeruwe, for your submission. Now, let me come to you, sir. Are there other means criminals are using and you think that the security agents should look into and do something about in this country with all the situations that we're seeing?
You see, when you talk about security, you talk about competence. We cannot continue to engage ourselves in what we have been doing before now. There are a lot of people within the security, cycle who can do even much more better than what others who have tried are doing. You see, the issue of the IGP, when they see that Mr. A is qualified, Mr. B is qualified, and then Mr. A and B are from the south, and then the other one is from the north, they will just make way for these ones to retire, and then they bring this person here. Are you hearing what I'm saying? There were some group of lawyers who went to court a month ago or 2 months ago, challenging the extension
of the tenure
of
the former
IGP Idris.
Yes.
They said, for crying out loud and for God's sake, your tenure is over. Why don't you go home? You have tried. But all that you have done is not enough.
Yeah.
Can we allow those who are competent to come on board and do what they are supposed to do? The government refused, gave the man 3 months extension, and then in that confusion, some group of lawyers went to court, challenging that extension. Before then, they've seen, they were supposed to get judgment.
Okay, just hold on, that is a caller.
Okay.
Yes, please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Pastor Stephen from ABUJA.
Okay, please make your submission. What is the security situation in ABUJA?
Actually, the same thing across the state. We are big hope in this government, and we are praying. And for our prayer to be effective, we want most of our Christian people out. It's true that they are in loud to be louder in a way that the part in Nigeria will not be shared, will not be marginalized. So all left that can be played. People's art is becoming, we have heard of this Nigeria. So whatever we can do to put the unity in place, government in place, to put peace in place. So, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. We are grateful. Pastor from ABUJA is encouraging leaders, particularly religious leaders, to continue to pray for our nation.
Country.
Of course, we have been praying, but we keep praying. But we can't pray without
doing anything.
Doing
Prayer without
nothing.
work, faith without work is dead.
All right, you were still making your submission before he called in.
Yeah, like I was saying, I said, look, it's not about where you come from in Nigeria.
It's about competence.
It's about competence. If you look at various, government agencies in Nigeria, if you see a place where a southerner is, serving his tenure, once he clocks either 4 or 5 years, as the case may be, they edge him out. They cannot renew it. They bring in somebody, a Fulani man, to come and take over. That is what has been happening. So it is equally happening in the security formations of Nigeria. If you are not from the north, you cannot hold any sensitive position. So is it about where you come from or about competence? So if we continue like this, continue to bring in people based on where they come from, based on their faith, then Nigeria will one day Nigeria will disappear.
I think recently there was a call from the National Assembly. A particular committee was calling Mr. President and advising him to adhere to the federal character principles. That is not seen. I don't know whether he has heard that, whether something is being done on that advice. I don't know.
Nothing will be done. The man is adamant as to what he has come to do. When Jonathan was campaigning, he said, the choice you have today is between freedom and slavery. So you choose one. So those who chose the man who is at the helm of affairs have seen what he has come to do. So they should enjoy the party while it lasts.
All right. Let me come to you, Venerable. Talking about the President as the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, should he be in the front line fighting insecurity, or things should remain the way they are? Because we've seen an example of the late Derby of Chad, this country called Chad, where he will go with his armies to the front line to fight insurgents. Should we have that kind of thing? Why is it that the body language of the president seems not to, we will always hear, I will crush them, and it ends there like one of the callers said?
You know, as people will tell you, age doesn't matter. It matters in what is happening. Even Mr. President said it by himself, and when he said Nigeria, they are calling him go slow. It's playing out in what is going on. Decisions are not being taken when it's supposed to be taken. If I were to be Mr. President, I will not sit down in Aso Rock. I will not sit down in Aso Rock. And the commander-in-chief of Nigeria Armed Forces, I should be in one of the super camps around Sambisa Forest. Thank God, somebody was saying within the week that president doesn't need to go to the war front. We are Christians. All the leaders of the people of Israel, nations of Israel, they were warriors. They were, and by the way, one of the sympathy people had for voting this government and voting the man in the helms of affairs is that he's an army general and he will be able to crush Boko Haram.
And command well.
And command well. He's a trained person, he has all the skill to do what he should do. Why should the person say that? Whenever I hear they say they are not advising him well, they are not telling him the truth. Do we need any person to tell any person the truth about what is happening in Nigeria now?
Was he not prepared in the first place?
That is good. Do you need somebody? Do you need me to tell you the truth about what is happening in Kaduna? Do you need me to tell you which other truth are we looking for? Have we not heard the truth about what is happening in Niger State yesterday?
And so this is the time to take decision immediately before they start coming in.
That if a governor have cried out now, in the next 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, nothing will happen. That information will just be there like that. Before you know it, these people are spreading. They are consolidating by the day. They are being emboldened by the day. I mean, so if I don't know what you should do, but if I were to be the president of this country, I will be in the battlefront. I will be in the battlefront. And anyone that is not following my bidding will go home. Yeah, we go home. So that is how I look at it. There's much more than a president can do than what he is doing now. And for me, so many reasons can be playing out. So many sentiments can be playing out. The sentiment of being a Fulani man is playing out. The sentiment of religion is playing out. The sentiment of old age is playing out. The sentiment of incompetence, as some people have always been shouting on the air, is playing out in so many things. And by the way, is there no provision for resignation? If I were to be in the shoes of at the helms of affairs in this very country, and I make my effort, it's not yielding result, I will resign honorably and ask a more competent person
in Nigeria don't resign
to take over.
They don't. They prefer that the country should be dying than to resign. We are seeing many presidents and prime ministers all over the world resigning. The country has escaped my memory. Last week, a prime minister, I saw him tendering his resignation. So even if he should not resign, let's let a basic decision be taken. Nigeria should not cry and cry and cry before some decisions are taken. With what is happening, like as I said, the most current one is that of Issa Patami. Another one is the man that presided over Onogen's case. He's also, yes, he's also in the eye of the storm. No one is doing something about it. The chairman, Code on Conduct Bureau, Tribunal, has misconducted himself publicly. And he's sitting there, no one is doing something about it. I mean, so we have to think. And in fact, the comment made by Garba Shehu that the forgery of the former Minister of Finance was more terrible than this issue of Dr. Isa Pantemi is just something I can't understand.
What he's saying indirectly to Nigeria is that this government has showcased so many bad Nigerians. That is what he's telling us indirectly. Because when you are speaking, you may not know where the other person is looking, the angle from where the other person is looking at it. If you are telling me that this use case is worse than this, you are telling me you people are busy showcasing bad eggs. This is a country of over 200 million people. We have sound people. People have no carcass in their cupboard. People knows what to do to get to the root of some of these problems. But you are there, giving us rubbish to be contending with. People are dying. People are dying.
All right, Mr. Eric Ebe. How can the media help in this matter? He has said it that Nigeria is not just bleeding, it's dying. And another caller said the same thing, as if there was a meeting somewhere.
So
that Nigeria is
dying.
So how can media help? We have lamented about the challenge that is facing us in the face. What can the media do to help in this matter?
Very simple. You are a media man, and you know your colleagues in other media houses. You know what they do. You might not be willing to be compromised. A lot of media people in Nigeria are being compromised. They take bribe and they turn the story upside down. They take bribe and they censor news. They take bribe and they say it the other way around. People will bring to them issues as it were. They will take that same issue or that news or that piece of information and go and sell to the man whom has been accused. So the media should wake up. They should see their practice as a call for patriotism and not to enrich themselves. Because a man who has the media is a man who can fight and fight even to the world. People should see you as a man who does what is right and not reporting what is wrong. You cannot go and, cook up stories against somebody and then they bring to you, then you go and sell to the other person and then you begin to make noise about it.
They're causing more confusion.
You are dehumanizing yourself. So the media should wake up. The media should be seen as the image of the country. They should do the right thing. They should report well. They should say it the way it is.
Yeah, if I may say this, the real patriotic Nigerians are the people speaking the truth. They are the people speaking the truth. The real patriotic Nigerians, because you shall know the truth
and it shall set you free.
The people ready to speak the truth, not minding whose ass is God, they are the patriotic Nigeria, but they have been painted in a different light, that they are the people who do not want the unity of this country. They are the real people who want the unity, who want the survival of this very country. No nation will survive on lies and deception. That's why, talking about the media, of recent, I just begin to wonder, what is really NTA doing?
No. Most of this news, you can't get it from
somebody said, I saw it a friend put it on Facebook, that if you don't want to wahala yourself with the trouble we are in Nigeria, watch NTA.
All right,
they will help you to cool down, because you will not hear any bad news, you will not hear anything.
Your last word, sir, and I will come to your last word.
Do we really have last word in the way we are now? We'll continue to talk.
Okay. No, for this episode.
We'll continue to talk because we are all dying together as a nation. And I want to appeal to Mr. President. What he can do, let him just do it. For the sake of posterity, what he can do, let him just get up and do it. Then any decision you want to, let it take the decision fast. Because if you don't take a decision when you're supposed to take it, many things will go wrong. And it's too late to cry when the head is already off. Most of the things are becoming complicated because decisions are not taken fast the way it should be taken. And every person found culpable in what is going on in Nigeria should not be tolerated in any form.
Wherever he comes from.
Should not be covered.
Whatever the religion.
Whichever religion the person comes from, whether it's a Christian, a Muslim, whether it's a pagan, whether it's an APC member, the truth is that we need Nigeria to be alive, to exist, for every other thing to work. We should see any person doing all this evil in Nigeria as a common enemy. It's a plea, personal plea to Mr. President. He is the one that is elected, that is at the helm of affairs. So he should not keep quiet or take things slowly and allow Nigeria to collapse on that. That will not be a good record.
All right. Thank you so much. Your last words, sir, for this episode.
Well, my advice is to the National Assembly.
Okay.
Both at the red chamber and at the green chamber. They should always look well. It shouldn't be an OES member. They shouldn't be an OES member. It shouldn't be the yes have it. All these people that they are bringing to them to screen for them to occupy various positions in Nigeria, they should be able to look at their past history, their past record, so that we don't begin to get into the issues of Adeoshu and Dr. Isa Pantami. Nigeria is too sensitive for us to have issues of this nature. The international community is
watching,
they are embarrassed by our conduct. And then somebody from the media, Garba Shehu, he is your colleague, is coming to justify that conduct, coming to justify the evil of a man.
Paid, so he's taking care of his pay.
Okay, God will forgive all of us.
We are grateful to the Venerable Joseph UNUAYAN.
Thank you.
Director for Civic and Political Affairs of the Church of Nigeria, and the chaplain to the National Assembly. Thank you so much for coming. And please, when you have opportunity, I trust I know what you can do. We are grateful to Eric Ibe Esquire, Secretary, Nigerian Bar Association, Abuja Branch, Unity Bar. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
We are grateful.
Thank you, sir.
The slogan said, when you see something, say something. Nigeria is saying something now. And we urge the government to listen to what Nigerians are saying. Until we come your way again, same time, same station next week. I am Smart Simon.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and viewers, and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the Advent Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN TV.